أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. There is not a single verse in the four Gospels in New Testament and in New Testament in which Iesous explicitly claimed that he is the Logos, a hypostasis in the ousia of God, or a person in God, and that all things were made through him. So there cannot be any such claim proved. And when Iesous never claims such a thing, then this means that someone other has made such claims about him. So there are two persons. Number one, Paul or Paulos, and number two, John, Johannan or Johanna. But these two persons are well versed in Greek philosophy of Philo. Philo was a Jew. So it is probable that he took this concept from Philo or some of his students through normal mediums, and then what did they do? They applied the dogma of Logos on him for some reason. It may be the case that some disciples might have called Iesous Logos. It may be the case. But that grant them to apply the whole theological Logos on Iesous. This is the problem. So we don't think that Iesous would have said anything which would have been interpreted by them as such. Now, the later developments went further beyond the concepts, from Logos to an uncreated eternal hypostasis in God, the second hypostasis or hypostasis in the ousia of God. This is the long way. Anyhow, my question is, I think that Logos never was the concept of Philo, and Iesous never claimed to be that Logos of Philo. So what happened? This is very important to note, that is John might have heard the concept of Logos from Philo, and then he tried to apply it on Iesous. That is the possibility. So now my question is that the word Logos was used by Philo. It is beyond any doubt. So John must have heard such thing from Logos, about Logos, and not from Iesous himself, but from Philo. And then he might have applied it on Iesous. But when he applied it, as he might have studied the theology of Philo, he must have developed it in one way or the other. So I do not say that there are dissimilarities. Yes, he made the Logos very, very literal, that the Logos become man, or these such concepts were not present in Philo's idea. But that was John. He might have borrowed the concept, the theology of Logos, and then he tried to modify it according to his own theological background or his own mind. And then he found that Logos should be the one from which God had created everything, the medium through which God created anything, the instrument through which God created all the things. And going to that, going from this, the later Trinitarians put the logos in the God. So once again, neither Jesus ever claimed to be the hypostatic union, or nor he claimed to be the hypostasis in the ousia. So it may be noted that such concepts might have emerged from the Philo's idea, and I never think that Iesous himself claimed that he was before Ibrahim or Abraham in literal sense. Yes, he may have said it in a metaphorical sense, because in the form of spirit, every spirit is present and pre-exists the human being in the form as we are. So the human spirit is present and is pre-existent, not eternal at all. So it may be said that I was before Abraham. It may be interpreted otherwise. So it may help many people to know that Iesous himself never claimed such a thing. These are the words of John or Paulus. So neither Paulus nor John quote Iesous directly. These are their own concepts and which they applied it on Iesous. Thanks.